Where are you, little girl? Hello, welcome. If anyone's here yet, if you are here, I apologize. I was a minute late. I was wrestling with my camera. So it worked itself out. So I'm going to play a little warm up. 432 hertz. Hi, 3 people are here. Oh, awesome. So I'll just do like 2 minutes at most. Here we go. Where's my girl? Come here. Hi, hello, Holly and Kate, Lori, and Dahlia. There she is. Where are you going? I'm not going to keep my arm that way. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? This is nice music. I am just opening up my notes. And I will take that away. Could you just not hear me because of? I think because is it okay now? Was it just because of the music? Bad sound still? It might have been just completing with the music. Hi, Grace. Is it okay now, you guys? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was just music. Okay, great. Yeah, it was just competing. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, maybe it was just too much. Also, because it was like I think it had binaural beats too, so it was probably like too much information, like moving around. Thank you. Okay. 1 second. I have my little girl here. You guys see my little girl? So, I'm gonna go over some baby. I'm gonna go over some announcements. I said we had some things that we were going to discuss about where we are with everything. And I'm excited because we got some cool things coming up. Sorry to be so. I was set up and then my camera, like, I started using a camera that is like a camera software that, because the old software I was using, I paid for it, which was, you know, that's the cost of doing business, but it stopped working very well. So then I don't want to pay for something that doesn't work well. So now I'm using one that's included with everything, and it's a little touchy. So that's where we are. Oh, there she. Oh, ow, she likes to. She's very gentle with my skin, and somehow she can tell that. I mean, not somehow. She can tell that the nail is not as tender as skin, but she doesn't feel. Look how pretty she is. I'm holding her up that way so you can see all of her beautiful iridescent colors on her breast. And then see if I can get her to show you her backside. You're so pretty. Okay, enough little girl talk. Okay, I'm gonna do some announcements, and then I'm gonna see if you guys want to come on and have a chat. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and invite you guys on, and because we can do this as a sort of conversational, even. So there we go, inviting you on to studio. Of course, if you don't want to come on, that is perfectly fine. You could always just type any questions in the comments if that's what you'd rather do. So, everyone, we have some great things coming up that I'm really excited about. I feel like I'm overselling it. Well, too bad. I'm excited about it anyway. I'm excited when I sat down and really looked at everything. Sorry, I'm still just looking for my notes. Where did they go? PQRS. That's because I don't know the alphabet. Q. Let's see. Ow. That's a little too hard, baby little girl. Date added. All right, great. Okay, here we go. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. Hi, nice to see you guys.
Hi. Great to see you and Aliel.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing that voice acting thing where I'm training a robot how to talk like a human, and it's still going on. It's like indefinite, which is fun. But that's why I haven't had her in studio as much, because I want to leave room to do that, and she has no chill. Brian was setting up a new microphone with me, and this is like a wind. It's called a windscreen, little styrofoam thing. And Brian was setting it up, and he looked at it and he goes, "Is that from Aliel?" Because it's got like little chunks. And he was like so charmed by it. I was like, "Yep."
Cost of doing business. When you bring
his co-creator.
That's my co-creator, yeah. She's adding some beats to it, different kinds of beats, but yeah, sure. Oh yeah, of course, Courtney. Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody didn't get the link, just let me know and I'll send it to you again. Okay, so here's what we have going. Oh, and actually first, so how are you guys doing since you two are here? Is there anything you wanted to share or ask or anything like that?
I would love to share something because it just happened and I'm just feeling very effusive about it.
Good.
Today, the energy is fucked up.
Is that why I have a headache? I've
There's
been like
no better word for it.
I haven't talked to anybody, but I've had a headache since late last night for no reason.
Me too.
Well, it wasn't physical for me. I left the house 4 times trying to go to the gym. And I had to come back because I kept forgetting things. And then I got to the gym and I did my whole swim and workout and everything, and then left stuff there at the pool and came in to shower and had to go back and it was still there. And then I got all the way to the freeway and I had left my phone.
Oh no.
It's like my head I came home and I asked my husband, is my head attached? Like, I have never been that forgetful. And so I read the Michael Lennox thing about the energy today, And I thought, okay, forget it. I'm going to stop trying to do anything else. I'm just going to focus on what the energy is asking for me to do. And I finished my radical forgiveness journey.
Yay!
Woohoo! Finally.
That's great.
I feel so much lighter, so much better, and it's great timing. It's all good. And I did it right after I did the Align Mind meditation or guided journey that you did in lesson 4.
Oh, okay.
So I'm caught up now to, to the last class.
No, we have 5 though. Maybe you did 5.
I was there live.
Oh, you were. 5. Okay. Gotcha.
But I missed 3 and 4. So I made those up, and all I had left to do was just that journey, which was the last 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And so I did that. And then I did the radical forgiveness, which was a perfect shift.
Oh, great.
And oh my God, I feel great.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Really excited.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. I think giving us some of that effervescent energy. That's great. Yeah, I haven't really talked to really anyone today except for, Brian a little bit. So I don't know what it's been like for anyone else. But then when I came into the studio, there were a bunch of people in the kitchen, and I just heard Melanie, who's she's my landlady, and she's like, "No, make no mistake, neither side of the aisle give a fuck about us." And I was like, oh. And I was walking through with Aliel, and one person said, "Welcome, Tricia." And I was like, yeah, it sounds like a great time in there. And then they were saying that somebody got shot, and it was, they were talking about politics. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, who got shot? When was it? They said like 20 minutes ago. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not that out of the loop. It was only 20 minutes ago. I was like, it could have been 4 days ago and I don't really, it's like, I want to hold that line, you know what I mean? Of not infecting myself and having too much information, but I also want to be connected, to what's important. Anyway. Yeah. And, it's funny because like I shared in Sacred Sphere, I think that, we're between, we had the lunar eclipse, and then we have the partial solar eclipse coming on, like, what is it, the 21st or something? And I was like, modern mystic, it should be about the eclipses. And I just kept getting a hard no, like, no, that'll be chaotic. No, that'll be too difficult. And not like just too difficult for me, like would just be too difficult. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, we don't need any more emphasis on it. We're doing okay. We don't need a class. We don't need to deal with.
But your replay looked like that's what you did talk about on Monday.
The lunar eclipse and manifestation, but like doing a modern mystic that was between and about both eclipses, that was like a no. Maybe the solar eclipse is going to be even bigger. I don't know. Or just both energies together. I was getting a no. So yeah. How are you, Kate?
I'm pretty effed up.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I don't want to give it a lot of airtime. I'm hoping that some things in our life kind of find solution soon. But I'm just really tired of an ongoing issue financially. That's just draining everything that we have right now. So I'm really tired of that, and it pisses me off. And you guys know I don't get totally pissed all that often. But this is just bullshit.
Well, that's what happens. You're a manifesting generator. You get from frustration and you get anger when it's really blocking you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they're totally fucking us up, fucking us over. So, other than that, the cool thing is I listened to, and I can't find my notes, but I listened to Richard Rudd's birthday transmission. His birthday was on September 7th on the eclipse.
Oh, cool.
Day. And he talked about his business and about the business and the future of Gene Keys, and it was really interesting.
Oh, where was it? Where did you find that?
I got an email. It was emailed. I can share that.
I thought I'm on their email list. I guess maybe I'm not. I could have sworn I've gotten emails before. Yeah. Maybe I have a restricted kind of list. Okay. Yeah. If you want to.
And he talked about how their market has really decreased for
really?
for the, I forget, I'm trying to find, he had such a great word for it. Anyhow, for their product. Oh, that's where it is. Okay, so cool. I don't have to try to rephrase. Business update. Oh, but I thought this was cool too. Pam Gregory, a British astrologer. She's really cool. Lee Harris will mention her in his energetic updates too. She was like, go look back to September 2006 eclipse season.
So long ago.
I know. Well, my mom passed away that year, so it's a very, that was happening, that was in the energy. I'm like, well, no wonder I'm pissed. Anyhow, and that's when he left from Ra Uruhu. And it was just really interesting, and began Gene Keys. So it stayed. I don't know if you want me to take time to do this.
I would love to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
All right. Please. So their business, it was very cool because he talked about how, in his beautiful way, drinking tea. Come drink some tea with me. Okay. Okay. Okay, you got me. And how morphing business with his spiritual principles has been a challenge. And they had an incredible success. And so then I will fast forward to, let's see, they are in a rebirth, and so over the next few months that will determine whether, or kind of sounded like, whether or not their business would continue. That the what did he call it? The long form content market has just decreased and diminished. And folks are much more interested in 5 steps to enlightenment and strategic enlightenment now. And that's just not his mythos, as he would say. That's not his story. So he talked about a couple things going on. You might see him pop up on Gaia TV, where he has a series of recordings. The first 3 are free. And then if you want to continue, you can get the other episodes by subscribing to Gaia. They're going to launch an app, a Gene Keys app next year.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They should have already had that. I mean, well, I don't want to shoot him, but you know what I mean? Like that would have been a good thing to have.
So they're positioning to that. And then he's written another book, Sage. And along with that, this next year, he is going to, and he's going to launch that through Hay House. Which I found interesting. Yeah. Right up their alley, right? But and the cool thing with that, Tricia, every line of every gate. So gate 1, line 1 is going to be
in Sage, in the Sage book. Oh, great!
Yeah, I know. I thought that was super cool.
That's great.
And he's going to do one last Golden Path journey with anyone who's interested, a 16-month journey that will go through that process. And then it looks like he's, kind of positioning for retirement from there.
Yeah. Well, I smiled when you said the long form content because, well, first of all, there's just this one person that I see about once a year, sometimes twice a year. She's a witch and medium, and I only get 30-minute readings from her, and I re-listen to them, and they're always like, especially as they unfold, I really feel like that if someone is in any way earnestly doing it. I've even gotten $7 little Etsy readings just to see about it, and it had a little something. It was only $7, but like I've even gotten $30 ones just to see what that kind of product is like. Go back and look at it and like, there's some things in there that are working. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, my witch. She's been saying to me for 2 years, she's Australian, small little tastes, small little tastes. I'm keep seeing small little tastes. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, I have that with some of the things that I'm doing. Obviously, Modern Mystic is, you can drop in and that kind of stuff. But also I smiled because today I was literally breaking up mediumship into small modules and to do them as small journeys. So, yeah. Thanks, Richard, for amplifying that, all of that.
Our attention span is just gone.
Yeah. But what's funny is that, but then people will keep, buying things. One of my mentees who sells courses, and she's like, she has a course. She only has one course. It's like a container for the people that she does a group coaching and then some one-on-one sessions. And she was just telling me, like, I'm just sick. She's like, I don't want to do freebies anymore because people, they get them and then they don't do anything with them. And I was like, well, first of all, it's none of our business what they do with them. True. But I do think that there's an entitlement, and people and people are hoarding things that are free or low cost or whatever. And the entitlement, because of the presentation of so much that is free, seeming free, we're being marketed to. That's the thing. Meanwhile, people also will like complain about the algorithm or what, like Instagram. I'm like, it's you're in someone's house. They can run it however they want. Like, and they're running it by your behavior. They're going to show you more of skincare if you looked at skincare. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is. Yeah, we're just in a weird place.
I want to give a plug to someone new I just discovered.
Yeah.
Along those lines, low cost and high value. His name is Paul Deniston, and he teaches grief yoga.
Ooh, cool.
And I got it for $35. I got a 2-hour class, which he gives you the replay, and you can do it. Like, I'm going to do it once a week, but then also you could, for $35, maybe $38, pay monthly for weekly classes with him, where he focuses on a different aspect of grief or whatever it is you might be holding in the body. He goes into fear and anger and all those things. It was so amazing. And then I took a class for free from him that was tools and ways to release grief and other types of feelings, which I'm about to teach a workshop on that. So I got like 25 ways to release, all these cool things. And that was his pitch to buy a big, 4-month journey of how to teach this to other people and that kind of thing.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's really fantastic. I'll post it in the WhatsApp chat for our group, because I think he's really valuable. He's got a lot to offer.
So this is obviously remote. That's why you're sharing with us. You didn't go.
It's online. Yeah. Online. Yeah. It's not in person.
Yeah. And so you met the monthly one. Is it like a group, and he's guiding?
And I think it's online. And so the class that we took was a Zoom webinar. So he couldn't see us, but there was the chat. So you can type into the chat. Sure. When I took the class, the night it was offered, I couldn't attend. Mm-hmm. It looked like he was looking at his screen, watching people, but I don't know if he could see them or not, because he never commented on anybody. Mm-hmm. At all. And I did it on the replay, so I don't know, but it didn't matter. And I cried through half of it. It was 2 hours, and I'm sure I cried at least an hour of that. Wow. But it was so cathartic and so beneficial. And he's got, he's got a background of denial. And so he did all the things to not feel his feelings. And that's always useful for those of us who also have been through that. Right. But also, he's clearly done the journey, and he's done all the work. So he's very enlightened, and he's got the perfect little chin quiver, for just that moment when you want to feel something. He's like, I can't even imitate him, but you know, he's just perfect. But he's very loose and free about it, and a cute man too. So, you know,
That's
not
nice.
difficult at all.
Oh, wow. That sounds so aligned. Thank you for that. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to check them out. That's wonderful. Oh, hey, so I have a suggestion. How about everyone, let's take a minute here. I'm actually going to put on a little music, and let's see Kate with this fucked up thing resolved. I'm trying. I didn't plan to do this, so now I'm like trying to multitask, talk, and then put on music, which seems like I should be able to do that. We're gonna put it on for like 2 minutes now, obviously, because Kate is so openly sharing with us, and we can add anyone we want. But what we want to do is just imagine the next time we see Kate, or maybe she comes on the WhatsApp chat or whatever, just take a moment to imagine Kate saying, "Hey, everyone, it's so amazing. This is resolved," and just like expand it to beyond your wildest dreams about how it would be beyond Kate's wildest dreams. Okay, so we're all going to come together in agreement on that, and here we go. Oops, I forgot where I was, so hold on. You can start right now, but you'll hear music play in a sec. Right.
Thanks, you guys.
Yes. It would be really great. You know what? With the announcements that I have, I want to share one of the things, one of the conditions that I used, Kate, The conditions don't matter. The conditions just elicit. I imagine that you were so elated by how not just relieved you are that you had this extra, dispensation of money, and that you got to throw the most beautiful, abundant baby shower for your grandchild and your daughter-in-law. And you got to lavish your loved ones. Yeah.
Well, that's coming up on Sunday.
Okay.
And that's where I think that the little bit of the angst is like more present, because it's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Of course. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
But I saw her. Of course, I saw her.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, we love you so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Well, okay then. I'll talk about some of our updates that we have going on. So, basically, what has happened with this level 1 and level 2 is I had some parts of level 1 that was already created and had some things to fill in, and so that's how we got through level 1. And then level 2, I have been creating and getting the lessons out. So I'm going to now. I've been packaging it, but I feel like I need to create some space to package it, and then also just see what else to add to this. So remember, you all are founding members. You have eternal access to this, and so there will be a time that I start up like classes again, and of course, you are welcome to come to that. We have Sacred Sphere right now. So what I want us to start doing, functionally speaking, is we're going to, as already announced, I'm going to give you assignments to take into the next Sunday Sacred Sphere. Mondays, we're going to keep the same. If I'm leading them, they'll be on manifestation. But if anybody signs up to lead them, then it'll be whatever you want to lead or practice or teach. So Sundays, we're going to focus on something to actually practice. This coming Sunday is group meditation. And what we're going to do tonight is do a watch party of that lesson. So that way we'll obviously you can go do it anytime on your own. And some people are watching this in replay anyway. But that's what we're going to do. So the Sundays preceding, or excuse me, the Wednesdays preceding the Sunday Sacred Sphere, we're going to have a watch party for that upcoming Sunday's focus. We're not going to do them in the evenings, though. I'm going to move them to 10 a.m. Pacific, kind of like where we were doing book club before. So again, I'm going to have them scheduled. They're going to happen automatically. You can do the thing. It's going to happen through StreamYard the way that these do, so that if you do register for the StreamYard webinar, then you'll get the replay, comes right to your mailbox. You don't have to wait for anything. Or you could find it in the student portal, which is, it's going to be there as well. It already is there. All of these are there, except for actually the meditation one is one that I'm still producing. So, and I'll give you guys notes of this too. I'll just give you the notes that I have tonight, but I know you're taking notes too. Now, having said that, we're also I want to start book club again starting this Friday. I know it's short notice, but I want to start book club again. So we'll do book club on Fridays, also at 10 a.m. Pacific. So what that's going to look like is it's not going to be every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific that they'll do the watch parties, because it's going to be the Wednesday preceding the Sacred Sphere. By the way, I have them all scheduled and with the subjects. So I'm going to bring up my document and show it to you. So I'm going to, any questions so far? I'm going to zoom through these things, and then we can ask questions, and I can repeat myself or anything. But so far,
coming to the point, that Holly asked about.
Oh yeah, this is the last Wednesday for now. Last Wednesday night, yeah. Because here's the other reasons I timed it this way. So first of all, I was feeling like by looking at everything that I said I would teach, there's two things, but I want to teach how to create a course. And remember, I was like, this needs to wait a little bit. Well, I also have another piece of this program is the I forgot what I call it. I always forget what I call it. I wrote it down. Oh yeah, quantum business mastery. So I don't even know if you guys remember that that's a part of this. It's something I'm going to be selling separately.
Oh.
So this is going to be a 2-week immersive. 2 weeks, three sessions per week. So 6 sessions over 2 weeks. And we're going to do those like something that is like in the middle of the day because we're assuming that this is something that people are, kind of like in an coaching, kind of self-employed type of you know, workflow anyway. So actually along the lines there, that's actually a small thing. It's a short thing. It's gonna be immersive. It's a big download of information, but there's gonna be a lot of attunement too. But it's definitely something that as we download it fast and quick in a way, it's gonna be something to impact for yourself. But it's for people who are, you're at the level of professional, so you have sovereignty over doing your work anyway. So that's something I haven't scheduled it yet, but that's one piece that is a glaringly obviously not completed yet, but it was also kind of like a little add-on. And the how to teach a course is going to be in that. That made sense anyway. I was like, why is this not fitting into? And it's because we have this teach a single lesson, teach a series of workshops. The course is something that's even a little bit more of a, I would say, professional level. So that's why I'm going to put it in there. So yes, so for now, so this is the last Wednesday evening for now. Basically, I'm going to definitely take the next 4 weeks to focus on getting it packaged and everything. And then I'll check in with you guys. Maybe we'll start something up on a Wednesday evening again, but I think what we're going to do is this practice thing with the book club. And then, but it may be that I need to add some classes after I've really made sure, how I see how it's packaged. So, but definitely the next 4 weeks so I can make sure that everything is packaged well. Does that make sense so far? Yeah. And I will, Holly, I don't know if you're still here. I saw that you were. Yeah. So any other questions about that so far? Did I? Okay. So let's see. I'm looking at my notes. 4 weeks to practice and package all of it. Starting. Okay. So yeah, just so you guys know, I'm going to actually finish packaging level 2, and then I'm going to go back and finish packaging level 1 because I want you guys to have like the level 2 stuff clear as soon as possible. And that is also the thing is that with the focused practicums that we'll do on it, that's going to help me also see how much content is there and if there's anything to add or rearrange. I don't think anything needs to be rearranged, but just in case. So then I'm going to go back and do level 1. And when I put together level 1, it would definitely bear like going and looking through it and seeing what's there. They're both going to have the workbooks, which you guys who have aligned mine have seen. And also they do look like similar to the PDFs that I have been creating for you guys recently in this program. And I've even gone back and reproduced some of the PDFs from like several weeks ago to make it more, to put it in that same fashion of the PDFs. So now here's the thing. So after it's totally packaged, I am going to do a total launch with marketing. That is going to be next year. I mean, we're at the end of this year anyway. So I'm going to be doing that. And obviously you guys are invited to be a part of that. And if I get this like really off the ground in a bigger way, I'm going to need coaches and I'm going to need teachers. Is it going to be the first cohort? I hope so. All right, let's hold that vision, right? Let's let it be that big. But it's interesting, Kate, to the point of Richard Rudd saying long form content is down. Like HMIs is not down, but they've got a whole different thing. It's a professional certification putting you in alignment, but personal development. Yeah, if someone's just looking at it for personal, unfortunately, personal development is on the decline, I think.
Wow.
God, I got TikTok for that. Why? What do I need to buy anything?
It's saturated. It's a saturated market.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so if he did find anyone who was more amenable to doing things that were shorter, like taking his work and collaborating and doing shorter things, as we're getting close to 2027, I feel like Gene Keys, we really need it. But I don't know. We'll see if he gets that sense. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I know this is something that I have been honestly in the creation of for 10 years. So I really think that it's there is a purpose to it. And I'm just getting getting it all set. So what I'm going to do with it too, possibly, is the way that I did with Astral Mastery, is that we will have things that are like, we come together and there's going to be a class presentation, and some people might be just observers, as we call it, and some might be experiencers. So they don't really want to participate fully. And so then maybe they don't do Sacred Sphere. So there's a few different things that I'm finding to be the way that, I don't know, people are interested in engaging in things. So, okay, watch parties in Sacred Sphere. Aliel just typed on my document. Come here, baby. Did that.
I'm excited for you, Tricia.
Oh, thank you.
This sounds great.
Thank you. I have a whole personal development thing too, that spiritual personal development thing that's going to be happening, but it's going to be a small, not small, but something that is more like 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's what people, that is as long as they can do. I think
I need a little break.
Yeah, right. I feel like we probably need a break. So if you want to, engage in, and by the way, I'm doing the watch parties and rewatching the content so that you can practice for Sunday, just to support you guys. I think you guys are, I see you guys as all just like, sure, I'll just like skim over it. And what's this again? Okay, great. I'll show up. But I'm going to, I'm just providing service. So take it however you want to take it, Yeah. I think we all need a break, right? It's a lot. It's enough of me already.
It's not enough of you.
I know.
We need other things for a little while.
Absolutely.
I really want to join this choir, and they rehearse on Wednesday nights.
Oh, good. Okay.
Probably won't even be starting up again until December. So I let it go and join a different choir that met on Tuesdays this year. But next year I'd like to do the Wednesday night choir. Yeah. So yeah, maybe that'll work out.
Well, I love that. I need to join a choir too. The choir that I like to join is on Mondays, but it's Glendale Community College, so it starts with the semester. So that's going to be like February, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So the first watch party for preparing for the Sunday practice is tonight, and we're going to review how to lead a meditation, the group meditation content. And then you have also the PDF, and then on Sunday when we meet, then we'll partake of one another's services. Depends on how many people show up. If we have enough people, then I will put us in groups, breakout rooms of 3 each, so that it is technically a group,
Right.
But if there's 5 people, then maybe we stay in the room and we just rotate around. We stay in the main room, we rotate around. But come, please come, everyone.
And when are you announcing the book for a book club?
Oh, I thought we would do, since it's such short notice, I thought we would do At Your Command by Neville Goddard. It's a short book and it's so potent, like it's pretty easy to pick up. And then since it's short and we can move through it really quickly, that'll give us all time if you guys want to suggest anything, where you want to go next together. So is that okay? Because I was like, just got the book club inspiration now. I've been thinking about it. And then today I was like, yes, I just felt it. And I was like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're bringing that back. Thank you.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. I love that. So I'll show you a schedule of the watch parties just as just to look at, but I'll just verbally just tell you right now, the next watch party for the Wednesday reviewing material for the Sunday practice is, the next one is Wednesday, September 24th. So that's not next week, but the following. And it'll be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 Central, 1 Eastern, Again, you can, it's going to be on StreamYard like this. And the benefit of that is, so the reason, in case you guys are curious or interested or annoyed, that I do things on Zoom when there is the possibility that we're going to go into breakout rooms or we just, you know what I mean? Like I did Aligned Mind on Zoom, but I probably should have just done it on StreamYard. I just wasn't thinking whenever I scheduled it. That is because for the potential of breakout rooms. But with StreamYard, I can obviously bring you all up and it's a gallery and I don't have to wait for the replay to process and then post it and then give you an extra link. Like if you register for it, it's just ready to go. And also it's a higher quality video. That's the main reason why Zoom doesn't have very high resolution video. So that's why I do these things here. So book club is also going to be on StreamYard. And again, just so that we have the replay right away, you could catch it right away. But those I'm not going to keep up for a long time. I'll take them down after I don't know, probably a couple of weeks, just for the sake of storage. Okay. So this Friday, Quantum Business Mastery. So Quantum Business Mastery, I'm going to be scheduling that, looking at that with everything else. I really don't know if it's going to be this at the end of this year or if it's going to be next year. I think it might be the end of this year, though. It might be in December. I'm just not sure yet. Okay. I think that's it. So I'm going to give you guys a little peek at the schedule of practices and watch parties. There they are. Okay. So I am putting these both in our calendar subscription and on that Google document that has all of the, the evergreen Google document that has like classes and dates and stuff like that. And these will also on both of those, on this calendar subscription and on the Google document, it's going to have the StreamYard link with it. And I'm going to create a separate, I'm going to create a module inside Sacred Sphere, or a lesson, I should say, that'll have this too. So I have several places, but since this is really, even though it's QRID focused, I'm still going to put it in Sacred Sphere. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So basically tonight we're doing how to lead a group meditation. Tonight. And then we're going to start, they're going to be basically in order. So 101.2, 101.3, 101.4, 101.5, but then they also have the names. And by the time this comes along, I will make sure also that while I'm still working on the full program workbook, I'll at least put the sections in there if it's not in the full program workbook. Does that make sense? You won't be at Sacred Sphere. Okay. Oh yeah, the baby shower. All right. Yeah. Well, then you'll just have to turn in your group meditation. I'm kidding. You do one tonight. You have to do yours tonight, Kate.
On command.
She could. If she wanted to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to? Okay. She's like, no, I'm pissed. My meditation's going to be like, these fuckers are fucking with me.
It'll be fucking awesome, but I'm going to kick your ass in meditation. So just saying. I do a lot of qigong in my kick-ass meditations.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, no, it's important.
Anger work, we call it.
Yeah, anger needs to be diffused.
Yeah, it's not often that I get to this level, and it's not comfortable, but I'm kind of relishing in it just a wee bit. But it's good to let it diffuse a bit.
Yeah.
Paul Denniston calls it chopping wood.
Mm.
Doing that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right then. Well, so the replay lesson is, I think it's about 40 minutes. So we could do a meditation first, or we could just go to the class. Anybody really want a meditation? I'm asking you, Kate, since you're the only one on the screen right now. And you're the one who may or may need it the most, may or may not need it the most.
I would like a meditation personally.
All right.
It always helps me. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good actually. But anyway, the class is about meditation. So why don't we do a meditation? I guess that makes sense. I'm just going to play one that's on the shorter side. Sometimes short is the exact amount of sweet anyway. What you doing, Aliel? Oh yeah, this is so good. Okay. All right then. It's 8-minute powerhouse kind of deal. So go ahead and get settled in. Actually, I'll just give us a little lead into it. And just taking a few breaths here. And finding that essence deep within, the inner light. That spark of I am. The faceless essence of being. Unconditioned. And pure, potent creation energy. Breathe into that for a moment and just to add a contemplation that came through earlier today as it concerns money, 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 money. And humans have a tendency to assign the authority of money as though it comes from someone or something. Maybe it comes from a boss or a job or your clients. Money is energy. And money, like all energy, comes from source. It's no accident that our language categorizes money as a resource. It is from source, and it resources. And so does time. So does the vitality of health and waking presence, consciousness. Everything comes from source, including money. And since it is an energy by its very nature expands. And it seeks some containers in which it can expand and grow. Consider the seed firmly rooted in the soil, dropped into the soil. It has its own spark of life. You might even think of it as code, creator code, creation code. And this seed, just as you, is in charge of its own inner spark. That light, that essence. Now, this is something that was freely given from source, as source. This spark of light. And so as the seed in the soil, feeling as though this light is hidden inside this shell, what the seed must do is to experience its own light, as if light appreciating light. To appreciate means to expand, to add more, as if you're pumping air or water or breath or light, as if you are adding light to color, to allow it to expand and show you even more. And so as you feel into this light of yours, and it expands, it begins to push against the shell. And as it does, it's sending a signal out to the soil, out through the rocks, out to the roots of the trees and to the sunlight, and it's signaling out. As it's sending the signal, it is showing, I belong expanded beyond. I belong in the garden. I belong in the universe. I am not only contained in this shell. As I feel my own essence, I expand out into the all that is. I am in the garden. I am in the universe. And so we know, as nature does, that this collapsing into its own life creates a sprout which has to grow as it feels itself even more and has to push against the shell, allowing it to be shed, because I am with the all. And this signaling, this expansion, the garden, the trees, the air, the sunlight, the stars send the collaborative components, which in nature looks like water and nourishment. And all of this is just another name for energy. For energy expands by its very nature and wants to be in containers of expansion and wants to be in a place where it is becoming more and more. And this is who you are, feeling that essence. That who you truly are, as you identify and appreciate that spark, that light of who you truly are. You take your full existential occupation with the universe and the all that is. And the cooperation of other energies naturally find you, see you, align with you. So taking a moment here to really appreciate that inner spark, allowing it to appreciate as it does expand, finding your true seat, your full occupation in the universe. Breathe into this for the next few moments. And you are received. And if you would like to allow this work to continue to expand and appreciate, to be received, resound within your heart, resound within your energy, blessings received. Yes, blessings received. Living from the end of the blessings received. Yes, it already is. I already am. Okay. Keep your heart in that just right attunement that supports us moving into this lesson. It's on meditation anyway, so it's okay if you are in state. I'm going to take myself off screen here. And we're going to watch this together. And I hope you enjoy. The volume up, just please give me a mention in the chat. This lesson is about facilitating group meditation. This will give us an overview of the process. Now, there is much more than the process. There's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of intuition. There is a lot of connecting with those you are guiding, your participants, your meditators, to pull through the energy and whatever else it is that will be a part of that facilitation. But this is going to be a sort of overview, more of the analytical view of it. And in that, hopefully, whether you are brand new to leading meditation, whether for individuals or groups, or if you're experienced, you'll discover something to, just dig a little deeper into. That's my intention, is that we'll all learn something. So, having said that, I do have a PDF. I have a bird, and she's with us today. I have a PDF that is accompanying this, and I will also be using it in this particular presentation. So let's talk about now. Let's have a look at. We're going to use my PDF as the guide for this lesson. Leading a group meditation. And there is a difference to consider when leading a group as opposed to leading an individual. And some of this consideration is covered in a lot of the other lessons that we have on hypnosis, because in fact, meditation is a kind of hypnosis being the really broad category. And that is addressed, some of those differentiations, what you really need to consider when you are addressing a group is something that we look at the very end here. So, leading group meditation. In this overview here, we're going to look at some steps. Now, the pre-session is kind of obvious, but it's good to remember to put into whatever it is that, however you are delivering a group meditation. You could be doing it online, you could be doing it in person. And the pre-session is, of course, to prepare yourself and the space. So this is talking about before you even have your group, those who would be who you're guiding. Prepare yourself in this space. We want to, of course, make sure we have a quiet space, free from interruption, perhaps including any kind of comforts that can allow a group, the individuals, to be able to feel a sense of serenity in the space itself. Now, you might have some soft music playing as they come in. Perhaps it could be that there are chairs or yoga mats or meditation pillows that they could sit on. It's also a good idea to have a couple of options. Some people are not comfortable sitting on the ground. And some people, really prefer to sit on the ground and not on a chair. I'm actually not very comfortable sitting on a chair. I only sit in a chair to teach, but it's a sense of keeping myself really straight and in a grounded kind of presentation for you guys. But pretty much every time I do anytime I do anything else, I am sitting on the ground or virtually on the ground. Like when I sit on a couch, I have my legs folded up as if I'm sitting on the ground. So I meditate by sitting in a lotus position, or I might recline a little bit. Now, since we're in on this subject, I'm gonna go ahead and mention the fact that when you are leading group meditation, there's an tendency to provide the option for people to lie flat on a yoga mat. When I am guiding meditation in person, obviously that's when that would come into consideration. I am always certain to let everyone know you can lie back if you like. And just know that that could be sending the message to your body to go to sleep. And so I swear to you, when I teach meditation in person, and I will give that cue, I will let people know that. And it seems to be almost every single time, at least one person will lie down, and therefore at least one person will fall asleep. Now, sometimes a few people will lie down and they don't fall asleep. But you know what? I let them know that that sense that that could be sending the message to your body that it's time to go to sleep. It's not to say that you won't get the benefit of it. However, if you would, like to have some sort of presence about what had happened in the class, you might want to, instead of lie back, find a comfortable way to sit, and or even just have your head up, because if your head starts to fall down, it will wake you up. So anyway, considering what you might provide for them, and maybe you want to have it as a rule that they don't lie down, so you don't provide something that will have them lie back completely. So then preparing the space, and then preparing yourself. Um, do your own meditation, ground, take that time to review how you're going to move through this session. Use this time to consciously create the flow of the session. Now, we're obviously in this preliminary session. You would have planned what your subject would be or what some of the imagery would be. And if you're working with people, you really don't want to be reading a script. There are some people who can read a script and sound very natural, and those people tend to be actors. And even actors, then, since you can kind of work with the script really well, then it would be good to just, even if you write scripts to start, to kind of consume it, embody it, and then deliver it authentically. Because here's the other thing, is we want to have attunement with the group and allow it to flow according to their needs, which you will know by plugging into their energy and being present with it. So if you're like, wait, I've never done meditation, I've never led meditation, really, I have to be off script and just like wing it, I'm going to fold that into how we would be guiding the whole session. So then as the group arrives, as the people are there, pre-session, then we have some kind of introduction. We want to do it in a manner that is calm. Even if you started off welcoming people, laughing and greeting people with high energy, right before the meditation is to begin, you already want to start to shift the energy tone and start to bring it into something that is calm and settled and grounded. Now, you'll take a moment and you're actually doing this for yourself, because the state that you're holding is the state that is suggested to the meditators. So briefly explain the purpose or the structure of the meditation. That could be that this meditation is about breath awareness. This meditation is about such and such subject. So this meditation could be about opening your third eye, if it's a spiritual topic. This meditation is about, as the one that we had before this class today, it was mindset management. And so you might have noticed, or maybe you haven't really because you're already meditating when it starts, that when I provide a recorded meditation, I kind of put this part into it. So I may even kind of fold it into after I've formally made the call. I have a key phrase, as you all probably have experienced. My key phrase to begin a meditation, particularly one that is a recorded one, is "Welcome to your sacred practice." And some of you have reported as soon as they hear that, you're already going into state, which is great. I love that. I love that we can be really efficient. So even after I would say, "Welcome to your sacred practice" on an audio recording, I would do this part then. This practice is to serve blah, 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 whatever that might be. In this journey, you will be guided to experience blah, blah, blah. So this is assuming that it is before you start the meditation, but we're already starting to segue into the tone of the meditation. And you know what? Just a little side note, I didn't even think about this as an additional awareness that we could fold into this lesson. If you're recording an audio meditation that you're going to distribute or give to someone, especially if it's not intended for an individual, but it's intended to just whoever's going to be able to receive it, it's like creating a group meditation. So all of these things, if you ever wanted to record meditations to distribute, then you can take this into consideration for that. All right, now the actual meditation session. The first part is we induce them. I also want to give you the heads up that a reminder that we have an anatomy of a hypnosis session in our, I think it's maybe in about the 5th lesson or module of this course, somewhere around there. But at any rate, you can compare these. There's a slight difference, but there's obviously a lot of overlap too. So this first piece, the first step is the induction to induce them. You would guide the participants into some sort of practice that allows them to direct their attention to, usually it's breath and body. And the point of that is to get them into their body, because we can't really induce ourselves into a deeper state, certainly not of meditation, without embodiment, without grounding and coming into the body, because otherwise we are more of the expanded kind of astral thinking space, in the space of 4th dimension that is not grounded with the body, in the mind. So we use breath and we use body awareness almost every time. I mean, you might use a kind of a different technique that will facilitate that, and I'll give you an example here in a moment of one that maybe you would I won't even say breath, or I wouldn't even say body, but it does actually create that anchoring and awareness of the body. Well, actually, I always say breath, even if it's just let's start with 3 slow and easy, calming, expansive, whatever kinds of breaths, intentional breathing, because that shifts your state. We will be using our soft meditated tone for this, slower pacing, adding pauses, all of this to support it landing and facilitating the capacity to just slow down themselves within their rhythms. A great way to think about this portion of the induction is some kind of progressive relaxation of the physical body, or some kind of body scan. And so I'll give you an example of one that is a bit more creative, which a person may not realize is even a progressive relaxation or a body scan. And I'm just going to describe it so you don't go too much into statement, even though you may already be in state. This is an imagery practice, an imagery facilitation, where we create a light, or we find a light within, a light deep within, centering it around the heart or the gut or both, finding that light within, and then allowing it to expand. And as it expands, the light that is moving through your energy and your physical body, expanding all the way around 360 spherically, like a sphere, all throughout your energy and your body, is creating a space of calm and soothing and relaxation. So progressive relaxations tend to go either from head to toe or toe to head, calling out the body parts or the portion of the body and offering awareness to that place, and often suggesting that you are becoming calm, comfortable, and relaxed, along with that awareness of shifting through the body. You could also just guide a body scan, which is another way to do a progressive relaxation, by just inviting them to silently scan their whole body. And now I like to sometimes, when I do that, invite them to imagine that it's like a laser beam, like a Xerox laser, just to give them the idea of how to trace their body. I typically, even if I did a silent one, so I would say take at your own pace here, just take a few moments to scan your body. Now they may, and I give them the guidance to either go head to toe or toe to head, and they may actually move it around, however they want to, rather than going totally, from top to bottom. Perhaps they just move it all around, and obviously we wouldn't know that unless they shared it afterward. However, we're still offering them the suggestion to get into the body. So even if you don't suggest that it is relaxing or calming, simply by bringing attention and awareness to the physical body, it is bringing one into the body. It is creating groundedness, and it does soothe and calm and relax, even without suggesting that. So my sphere expansion, even without saying it, it is again bringing it. Now it's even though it's not like moving on a certain pace of patterning, like from your head to your jaw to your neck to your shoulders, it's moving out in this full, expansion, a 360, and allowing it to be some form of light. That light is always synonymous with awareness. So, it's kind of got like a few elements here that are bringing in that induced state. Another common one is to move through the chakras. Chakras move along the spinal line, and therefore they move along the body in that linear sense, as well as the seven chakras. They they encompass all of the physical body systems and glands. And so again, even if a person isn't aware exactly what the root chakra does, if you're just guiding color and the space of that area, it's just a universal concept that is felt even if someone isn't educated on something like the color rays or the chakra system. So that is the first piece, the induction. And also it can just be breathing. It could just be a nice calm breathing, or just asking them to wave the calm and soothing through them. When I do that sphere one that's expanding, I actually usually incorporate the breath, so that I say that as you inhale, the sphere is expanding and creating more of a calm and soothed space all throughout your energy and physical body. And then on the exhale, it also expands. So it's expanding with both patterns of the breath, and eventually ending to where the sphere has fully encompassed them and is holding them in a gentle, soothing, comfortable, and maybe inspiring space. So there you go. The first piece is the induction. The second piece is to deepen and guide the intention. We're going to introduce the core focus here. And this is in this description, in this guiding of the intention, will deepen the induction, will deepen them into the experience. So what this means is we would be now moving into the piece of what the subject is. If it's imagery, we're walking along the beach and clouds are passing by and you hear birds in the air, and there's a certain kind of something, like whatever that imagery piece would be. And or it is something about the energy. Perhaps it is calling in confidence, if that is the purpose of that meditation, or some kind of spiritual intention, which may be connecting with the spirit guide or feeling the presence of your ancestors. And so whether it is something with a certain kind of activity, imagery, or kind of energy healing component, what is also happening here is we are activating their inner senses. And so that is also deepening them into the practice, deepening them into the state of meditation. What is also occurring here that also facilitates the unfolding of whatever the intention or subject is, as well as the deepening, is we want to make sure that we have spaciousness built in, silences, and even in your awareness, the state that you're holding, you're imagining holding space. For me, because I am so dominantly clairsentient, I feel myself, my own field expanding. Now, you might be dominantly clairvoyant, and so you might imagine and visualize the space and your space expanding to hold the intention and the shift of what is occurring. Guide them to awaken and enhance those inner senses. And so that would be with all of the inner senses, the inner seeing, inner hearing, inner scent, and the kinesthetic. It's perfectly fine if you are focusing on the visualization, because we all have a dominance of clairvoyance if we have eyes to see. A person who doesn't have physical sight, they still will experience something, because even if you say, imagine a sunny day, a person without physical sight will imagine a sunny day because they have experienced it, you see? So the inner senses will be awakened, and you might mention them, or if you just leave it to that which is, basically creating visualizations, creating imagery that is by pictures and those kinds of descriptions, that will work too, because the other inner senses will come in. But you could deepen it by saying imagine or sense what the air feels like here, or the quality of the sun on your skin, if it were a nature, imagery that you were utilizing. What kinds of sounds are here? Some people are really dominantly auditory. So this piece here, this step 2, you might refer back to a recent NLP lesson where it's in a couple of lessons at least, where we talked about the preferred representational systems. Now, in those NLP lessons, we're talking about the physical senses, but it also, that all has indications of inner sensing too. And so, yeah. And by the way, if you happen to be doing a small group, 5 people, and you got their human design charts, well, you'd be able to see, well, this person is clairaudient and this person is clairsentient. However, everyone is clairvoyant because it's either an undefined head center, which indicates clairvoyance, or it's defined, which means, and all 3 of those gates that would create definition of the head center indicate clairvoyance. So you see, however you go about it, that clairvoyance is a good default to, or the inner visual sensing. Now, some people have beliefs that they are not able to visualize, and it's a belief. It truly, truly, truly is a belief. So we don't confront beliefs head on. We don't challenge beliefs. So this is why you hear me say a lot, or maybe you don't remember because, again, you're in state, visualize or imagine. And sometimes I say visualize, imagine, or sense. So that if a person somehow has a belief that they don't visualize, imagine, right? So it just gives these different inputs for how to work with them where they are. All right, so that is the second step, the second part of our framework. The third is holding space with presence. Now we're already doing that in the whole meditation, but this is when we actually start to slow and really let everything land. This could be depending on how long the meditation is, it could be a brief moment. However, if your meditation is even 7 or more minutes, you want to have some space where you're actually silent. As a general rule, I would say let's have at least 2 minutes of silence, from not just like silence between phrases or brief silences, of full silence, at least 2 minutes, maybe longer. Now, I would say 10 or more minutes, 2 minutes at least. If it is 5 or 7 minutes, then you might shorten that. But even in a 7-minute meditation, you could do 2 minutes, or you could do 90 seconds or a minute. If it were a 5-minute meditation, definitely have 30, 45 seconds up to a minute, And so this piece of slowing the pace, adding more silences, and this is going to start where we're adding more silences even as we're progressing through the previous stage of the deepening and the intention guidance. And then when we get here, we're starting to really slow so that they can start to do their own exploration. By this time, they are in a deep enough meditative state that they can explore on their own. Now, exploration for some person or for anyone one day might mean absolutely nothing, that we're just basking in the comfort and the calm. On another day or with another person, it might mean that they started climbing a tree in the imagery that you presented, even though you didn't suggest that. You know what I mean? Or that it is receiving messages from their higher self or the guide or whatever it is. We want to start to leave that space, start to let it expand and open up. They'll be integrating during this time too. We actually want to practice restraint of doing too much speaking. speaking infrequently, allowing for that internal processing and integration, and recognizing that silence is therapeutic and a key tool. Now, this is where, as I said before I even started this, that if you're wondering, wait, I'm supposed to just make it up as I go along, please remember that you will be connected with your group, and silence is therapeutic and your best friend here. So perhaps you have a framework for what it is that you're going to present, and y- the silences are going to just help you to just be with it and see what is coming next. This is where your intuitive abilities come in, because perhaps this happens to me a lot. I might plan something ish, you know what I mean? Because I pretty much channel everything, but I might have whether I have a sense of what the meditation is going to be about or not, there's always, I get into it and we're going to do something that I didn't expect, that I didn't plan. That's just how it is for me. And so as you maybe before, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this kind of induction. But sometimes even I think I'm going to do this kind of induction, but as soon as I start, we're going to do a different induction. And you know, it's when I connect with the space, or perhaps it's when spirit really is given the space to step in. So this is something to keep in mind, that silence is there for the meditators, and silence is also there for you to be able to channel what will be happening in the next beat that you will be speaking. So you could plan a meditation that's I'm going to do a simple body scan. I'm going to do this kind of breath work. And then I'm going to have them step onto a cloud and go to the other side of the rainbow and discover which color of the rainbow or colors are there to commune with them and give them an attunement or a message. And then I'm going to create some silence. And then I'm going to bring them up and out, which is the last piece. As you're able to be there really present with it, the images or the messages that are the guidance that you will deliver will come in as you're connecting into the space of the group and how we're moving through this journey. That was an example of just creating those silences. So creating silences as we're deepening the experience, and then create a period of full silence. Again, it could be 2 minutes. If you're doing a meditation that's like 30 minutes long, you might have 4 minutes of silence, and you might have also had in there 2 other brief silences for 30 to 45 seconds each as you're letting certain things land. It's many different ways that you can integrate the silences. So then our fourth piece here is to guide the return and the waking. We're going to bring attention back to the body, to the breath, or just simply to the time space. Bring attention back to the fact that this is beginning to close. We might offer some kind of grounding on the actual waking part. I tend to, when I'm closing a hypnosis, whether it's group or individual, say, remembering the space that you're in, remembering the room that you're in, returning to your time and space, and maybe some kind of anchoring statement, something that helps it to come into the heart or the body, or even there is you all have probably, again, whether you remember or not, you could have had them receive a token, something that will help them to recognize this activation, an activation symbol or a token. And so at this point, you would say, remembering the token or the anchor that you received, that's like basically touching base with the physical form, because they're taking it out with them. And then we want to have some kind of clear way of signifying the end so they know it is time to awaken. This can just be some kind of closing, and we seal this work with gratitude and appreciation. And as it lands, then you want to say, okay, and welcome back, everyone. We want to brighten our tone. We want to bring them to the fully awake experience. So this is, again, assuming that we're somehow in person, whether online or physically in person. Another common one is to ring a bell. This one, I've been using this a little bit more frequently, signifying the end of the meditation. And you also, again, as you're welcoming them back, you'll see them kind of like rousing and everything, and start to speak to them in a different tone. That is, it's like the reverse. Because as we've spoken of in some of the hypnosis lessons, an important piece of state work is coming out of state. We want them to get into their cars or to go out to their family out of the state, out of the altered state, because an altered state is a suggestible state. And that's great when we're doing it intentionally with doing our spiritual work or doing our mindfulness or our calming or soothing work. But when we have to go out and be in the elements of the world and everything else, and also when we do need our logic, reasoning, analysis, decision making, and willpower, we need to be I'm honestly, washing the dishes can be quite meditative, but we have to be careful because that's how you can cut yourself with a knife or break a dish and then cut you know what I mean? So we need to be present to that beta level, beta brainwave level. We want to get them there. And this is also the way that the work actually seals. So the guide to return and wake is really important. So that is the steps, and then some post session, some options. You could invite them to do some journaling or sharing, ask questions, or to sit in some simple reflection and connecting with their inner insight and bringing it into a daily awareness. So again, this would be something you would do if you were actually live with people. And this also helps to anchor in that waking state. Well, the journaling piece is going to kind of take them into state again. So you might, well, maybe not again. It's going to rouse them to a certain level of state if they journal for a couple of minutes and then bring them up even brighter, bring them to a brighter level after the journaling. So some notes here to keep in mind is some of the things that we have learned in especially talking about suggestibility, talking about hypnosis. Suggestibility is how people take in information, how they learn and how they receive information, how they receive suggestions. So your meditation guidance is suggestions. You're suggesting that they listen to the guidance that you have taken them in the inner realms to a beach. It's a suggestion. And everyone receives information in different ways. So, in a group context, you want to lean toward inferential processing. The way to jog your memory, inference, how I correlated it with the human design chart is that the defined centers are the centers in those subjects that have more of an inferential kind of suggestibility, meaning they have a processing. So the other kind of suggestibility with the undefined centers is literal and direct. And what these look like are, if we're talking about emotional information, an inferential way to offer confidence to someone in a meditation is, and standing on this beach at this time, you have a sense that confidence is something that you could resource each day a little bit more. And you're becoming more curious about how confidence is showing up in all of these areas of your life and ways that you can enhance it even more. So what happened there was I gave the permission to the person, to the meditator, to consider, I turned it over to them. As you're standing on this beach, which is an imagery thing, you are able to imagine how confidence is showing up in your life, as opposed to saying, standing on this beach, you are certain of your confidence going forward. That is very direct. That is very literal. And for people who are highly literal, that actually is really helpful. But here's the thing is that, let me go ahead and take off since I'm talking a little bit. A person who is highly literal can respond, can take in information inferentially. A person who is more inferential, it has a harder time with things that are literal because they need processing, you know? Now, that doesn't mean that we should always only do inference, because even if a person is more inferential, they all are also they have some literal ways that they receive information. And so we want to kind of emphasize the inference and still have some of the literal. So just think of literal as I am, and from this point you are confident and you feel the breeze. You see the sunlight. Those are very direct and literal. And a person who might need a little more process, a little more space to be able to create it for themselves, then you would say, and imagining one of those sunny days. And those sunny days tend to give you the sense of feeling more confident each day, building in your confidence. You see how I'm putting those buffers in there? So that's what you're going to emphasize in a group meditation, just because it can serve everyone. And then also add some of those literals. Another reason why, if you add some of those more direct ones a little deeper into the process, they may have been they become more induced, more deeply in state, and deeper in state means they could receive some of those literals a little bit more easily. Now, the other thing is that imagery, telling a story of a place that a person is, or something along those lines, where you're creating something that is a visual, or it's not only visual. Imagery isn't only visual, of course. As you say, we're on a beach. It's not just that you're seeing a beach, right? If you're on a beach, you're smelling it, you're feeling it, right? But guiding it that way, as long as you can do it as though you're telling a story, instead of saying, and now you're on a beach. You just, as if you're describing something to them. And it's as if you are on one of those days where the beach feels just right. And everyone has experienced one of those days with the waves coming up on the shore, with that really rhythmic and almost melodic sound of the ocean. And the sun, when it's just right, that perfect kind of golden sunlight. So I'm describing it instead of saying, you are seeing sunlight. And so imagery of that in that way, like telling a story, is something that works for everyone and can really communicate deeply to our beings. So that is some of the additional notes to keep in mind. And just the rest of this here says, give options for how a person may be experiencing their inner senses, such as saying visualize, sense, or imagine. So there are ways to avoid giving that imagery as a command. Instead, we describe. Instead of saying you do this, you are this, describe it. And as if you're describing a scene to someone. And that is a way that people can really just let themselves go. I have in this a meditation analysis. And this is utilizing a meditation of mine. It's called Unconditional Positive Outlook. And so what I did was I took the transcript of this meditation and I basically put it into each one of those sections. Now, the one thing that you can't see in this analysis is a part where I went silent for like 2 minutes, right? But I kind of just implied it here. For example, in the hold space and, and presence here, um, this is where that silence may have been in that place. And then, so what you can do if you're able to is actually listen to the meditation without going into the meditative states too much. Not easy to, and read along here. So actually, I think I'm going to try and guide that for us. All right. So let's do that. I'm going to try and guide that, see if we can do it without going into meditation. So I'm going to provide a lesson for that, talking over it. And I'm not able to do it live right now, so that's why I'm kind of like saying, but I guess I'll just talk through this right now. I was trying to figure out if I could do it live, but I don't think I can. All right, anyway. So in this, in the meditation, unconditional positive outlook, it starts with my key phrase, welcome to your sacred practice. This meditation, and this is the part again, if I would have done maybe even this before the session, but here's the thing, even if you do before the session, you can add it after you've asked them to close their eyes and get into the state. This meditation is a call to unconditional positive outlook, settling into calm, secure, comfortable position, and take those 3 big deep breaths. So, obviously, starting the induction and just giving some of the imagery and the felt sense of air and some of those spiritual qualities of it. And now, with attention at the feet, visualize or imagine or have a sense that you would be standing comfortably, feet soaking up the ground. So, here's a different kind of body scan. But we're also obviously grounding here, traveling up now with intention and awareness. And so and I even just say, like, um, oh, that's like a little bit of what's going on here is we're doing a progressive relaxation. And so it continues. And then we're deepening it with some of this imagery of as it ends the progressive, we are communing with the divine. We're creating magnetic energy between the sunshine and the energy. And at some point, we have this positive life force. So we're starting to get into the heart of the subject, the positive life force, and everything is unconditionally positive, right? There is the point of this meditation. Pick something in this space. This is where we're going into the hold the space and the presence. And as you sit and commune with the exchange of energies, welcoming in your companion. And so this is where I would have put the pause. And then coming out in a moment, the images begin to fade, moving into the embodiment even more. And in this one, I actually did the hypnotic count. So I went from 0 to 5, and that was the signal to come awake. And at 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and alert. So perhaps if you can, if you manage it, maybe you can do that on your own, some homework. This meditation, unconditional positive outlook, is in the Sacred Sphere meditation catalog. The other thing I have in this PDF is a couple of spaces for reflections to take a few moments, jot down some ideas for meditation that you might lead, whether you've experienced them in something else. By the way, these are universal concepts. So you can make a meditation that's unconditionally positive outlook. You'll do it differently. You could do one that's, a cloud imagery meditation. Even if you've heard the one that I've done, you'll do it totally differently. You can do a chakra induction. You'll do it your way. So, just some space here for you to think of some different things that you could put into meditations, different kinds of imagery, or perhaps some phases or phrases that you would guide them into, phasing them into a different state and how you might do that. And then another prompt here is just to reflect on silence, pacing, and energetic presence and how this impacts a group experience and how you might facilitate to create more space and less instruction and just some space for you to just think about that, jot down some thoughts. So this is a PDF companion to this lesson. So that's what I have for you in this lesson. I hope you got some ideas, and I would love to hear them about how to lead a group meditation. Now, all you need to do is create those subjects and let them expand within those areas. Really, we're creating the induction, that subject, and we're letting it land a bit. And then how you might have a few different ways, or even, by the way, you can do the same induction and the same call out every time if you like. We're the ones who get bored of it. If we're working with people habitually, regularly, they don't get bored of it. You will need different imagery every time, different subjects. Yes, of course. So different intention, different imagery. And of course, the intention is what kind of transformation or shift or benefit that is the aim for that particular meditation. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed. Hi. There we go. Hello. Well, can invite y'all back to stage in case anybody wants to chat about anything else, or if you have any questions. So I'm making those invitations now. Did I get everyone? I think I did. So, yeah. Was there anyone who didn't see that before? Like, did you not get that replay? And so for Sunday, you can do a really it could be a short one. You could even do a 3-minute one. You know what I mean? See if you can cover those areas. How are you, Holly? Nice to see you. Oh, look at your curtain. It looks like your curtain goes right into my background.
Oh my gosh, you're right. That's too funny. If I
How are
just,
you? Yeah.
It also looks like I have like tufts coming out of my head. It's behind me. I'm doing well.
Good. Are you going to be in class on Sunday so you can practice?
Yes, I
Oh,
will.
good. You're going to practice? Yay. I love it. Have you led meditations before?
I have not actually.
It's fun. So I didn't quite say it in this class, but basically you're describing what you're visualizing as you start to channel it. I also everyone here is at that level. Mainly the little girl. We dressed alike today. Wearing the same colors.
It's cute. Oh, look at her looking at the camera.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh,
ooh,
so
there's a
cute.
pretty birdie over there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, as you just, and I teach HMI students all the time, and it's, there's a lot of space. There's a lot of time. You slow right down and you just start describing, and as you're feeling everybody. So, and you're an empath, so you'll feel them emotionally as well as, being
Yeah.
clairvoyant and everything else too, of course. So, yeah.
I've led really basic Qigong classes, which is kind of meditative.
Of course it is. Yeah. And you're definitely attuning to everyone,
Mhm.
there.
And it's so true about, like the point you made about allowing it to be fluid instead of rehearsed.
Yeah.
Because it's like it'll change. When you're in the energy of the group, it's so weird. You're like, oh, I didn't think I was going to go in that direction.
Totally. Well, even like you're an actor, so obviously a lot of acting is you're required to memorize the text. And the
Right.
text, and some of it is like you don't mess with the text at all. Some of it is like, you are free with it. But even when if you're being really, like, let's say Shakespeare, obviously that text is like it's
Right.
set, you know what I mean?
Not room for improv.
No, yeah. So you embody it, and then it's as if you forget that you're speaking someone else's words. It's still very fluid, like different feelings, different things, different ways, emerge.
Totally.
So, yeah, even in a scene that's rehearsed with someone else and everybody knows where we're going with it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's creative. It's a fluid process.
Right.
And yeah. And what's great about it is the other thing to mention is that people will pretty quickly be in state. So even if you stammer or something, that's definitely, don't judge yourself stammering, because maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah.
That actually might be a part of it, that it's meant for you to kind of disrupt. The language wants to disrupt a little bit. And
It's interesting. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I always tell people I've given some presentations on giving presentations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell people, like, don't be afraid of making mistakes. It makes you human,
Yeah. Yeah. It helps people to soften a bit. And then it's actually similar to, like in parent-child relationships, that ideally the parent doesn't rupture the bond at all. Sure, we would love that. But when there is a rupture in the bond, and the child then has to actually become individualized, has to separate from the parent and find some of their own sovereignty. And then when the parent repairs, when there's a repair, it's even stronger. It's that Japanese art of repairing pottery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the craft.
So, right, if you're presenting or teaching, if you know, obviously there's a difference between being unprepared and really screwing up.
Right, right. That's such a good metaphor, the pottery repair. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how long are we gonna have to?
Well, it's going to depend on how many people are there, right?
Okay.
So, you can just think about, you can make it really short. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 5 to 7 minutes. But if we have, whatever time we have, and here's the thing too, we can get right to it. So we have 2 hours. So even if we have a lot of people, we have 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to teach a lot. I can just kind of give us a short anchoring of, meditative anchoring, and then we can roll right into it. So, you can feel the room. And maybe one person is going to do a 15-minute one, and there's plenty of space for it. So, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm already. I have
Good.
ideas.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
I could do this. I could do this.
And by the way, and again, those ideas will come while you're there. They'll shift and change.
Mhm.
It's really awesome. If you guys, whoever is listening, if you haven't led a lot of group meditations, let alone at all, but if you haven't led a lot of, it's really fun. And it's an easy, if I can say it this way, it's kind of an easy kind of channeling, because you just like let it happen, and it's slow, and it feels really good, feels really good.
Mhm.
Now, you do keep yourself, you go into state too, but you keep yourself a little, I would say, we say a little above their state. I that's why sometimes, a lot of times when I play a meditation, I get to actually do the meditation with you guys. I can't really do a meditation when I'm leading a meditation, except that I'm receiving the imagery. But I don't know, maybe that's my way. By the way, I should say that maybe that's my way. But I do know, like, when I'm going to leave a silence, then I have to, like, I can't go and like let the imagery come to me. I have to watch the timing. Otherwise it could be, like 5 minutes, and then I'm still letting everyone in their space. There's a girly bird. She's ready for her dinner. So
Yeah, I bet.
anyway, oh yeah, so I did, Courtney, I don't know if Courtney, are you here? Because you said you might want to join afterward and make sure you got the, Lori is down in the margins, but she doesn't have her camera on, so that's why I didn't add her. But yeah, so the book, At Your Command, by Neville Goddard, and there might be free PDFs online for that. There might be there are lending libraries that.
This is for the next book club.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on. And again, and you can also not read the book. You can just come and I'll read sections of it and discuss it. So
Okay.
yeah.
And that's Thursday? No.
Friday at 10. And I'm gonna send all of these notes
Time for me.
and put it all in the calendar and stuff like that.
Okay. Middays are hard for me.
Okay.
But
if you want to listen to the replay, they're gonna be shorter too, 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
You can listen to it like it's a podcast if you want.
And then the watch parties are going to be Wednesday at
10 a.m. also Pacific. So that's 1. So
okay.
It's just kind of like, you can.
That's more doable for me. Those
classes are all published, so it's really just like it's something to respond to, since most of you are generators. It's giving you something to respond to, whether it's that it gives you that watch party because you do want to review the class, or you watch it and replay, or you go, oh yeah, it's that class. I don't even need to watch it, but I'm going to go look through the materials because I want to, so that's what it is. It's just service. It's not nothing obligatory. Hi, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know if I'm
I
gonna
don't know. I know. No. I saw it on your face.
I've done it for Sydney several times.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but a group is terrifying, and I know it's all of you, so it'll be fine.
You can do whatever you want, but I want to just encourage and give you a little challenge. Remember, you're not anchored in right now. Remember when I have you anchor first, and then you go poof, and you're like, this cosmic genius, just like, and you are anyway. But I mean, so what if you did like, you did 3 minutes or less, and you guided us to breathe, and then you described walking and hugging a tree, and then you just said, and come on back. What if you just did that?
I could do that. I could do that.
Okay. And remember, you start first and you just connect with your heart. Here, and just, I'm here to be a blessing. There is no other reason for me to be here than to be a blessing. I am here to be a blessing.
Okay.
I'm going to push you a little bit, but lovingly.
Please do. Please
And just,
do.
and the push is like a little spank on the hiney. It's just like a toot. You got this.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see it on your face, though. I knew you're going to be like, I don't think I will. But, oh, God, you are so brilliant. And I believe in you. And it's not because I believe in you, because you're going to be something great. I've witnessed it. We have witnessed it. And it's just a little habit that you haven't solidified, of knowing that you're going to anchor in first, and that you're not going to do anything. You're going to allow yourself to be an instrument of blessing and light and love. And that's the easiest thing that you do, is love. It's the best thing that any of us do. And it's the best thing that you do. Yeah.
True. Well, thank you. I definitely
Okay.
need.
Yeah. Good. Well, all right. Anything else, you guys? Any questions or comments or anything? And Holly, I was like putting your names together. I was about to say Connie. I was like, Connie. So that you heard me say this is the last Wednesday evening for the foreseeable future. Yeah. At least 4 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good. Oh, that's so cool, though, that you're kind of helping him. Is it him, right?
He was so funny. He was like, I think he's really trying to get people. And I think he's done it. Well, I don't know if he's done it yet or not, but either way, I was keen to do a class with him just based on meeting him in person and his kind of style. And he was like, I was like, well, when is the class? And he goes, I'm looking for someone with a defined G center to suggest the time. He goes, in parentheses, maybe this is you.
What is his, what do you know what his design is? Like his profile?
Oh gosh, I did know. I met him like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm trying to remember. I think he is I think he is a manifesting generator. I can't remember his profile.
Okay.
I met him and a student of his, and now I'm getting the two of them mixed up, because I think the student of his was also a 3/5, but I think was a projector.
Okay.
But I think he himself, is a manifesting generator. Anyway.
Obviously with an undefined G center.
Yeah. Yeah. He was funny about that. But yeah, he was all about like, let's, make this a practical application and,
Cool.
apply it to your life. So anyway, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, you generators, whatever you put your energy into, you generate more of it. So yeah, go help him, collaborate with him. And that's the thing that's cool. I haven't really, I don't know if I've talked about this. When we come together in groups, well, I think I mentioned it, I don't remember, maybe in Astral Mastery. When we're in a group of 3 to 5, that's called a penta. And we're in a group of like 5 to 11 or just more than 5, basically, that's called a wa. And what it does is because of all of our, like the different channels and hanging gates and everything that we have, we create a transauric entity. So we create an egregore. Our energies makes a big conglomerate of an energy, and it's called a transauric entity as a group. So it's really cool if you can have a penta that does have representation. Like maybe you do have a projector and you have, if you had like representation of the 4 major types, but you also don't need that, because you are going to maybe create that just by the sheer statistics of, there being that many different variations between you, so yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go in there with him and say, hey, we're creating a transauric entity. And he's like, oh, maybe you teach the class. I don't know what that is. It's kind of a nerdy thing.
I think it would be cool. Yeah. I mean, it's like cool too to think of in terms of business, building a business, having a balance of those energies.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's something I think would be really helpful. I am, as a reflector, I definitely go to the big picture of disappointment as a part of it too. Like, oh, but what if people start, they don't totally understand it. And then they just go like, oh, we don't want any more projectors because they don't do any work. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Oh, right. Kind of stereotyping.
Yes, because I know that was actually done with Myers-Briggs, which is actually even it's totally subjective. It's just a person is going to take that in, and honestly, if a person has a lot of definition, then they might have a consistent turnout on a Myers-Briggs because they have a consistent.
I was going to say I've gotten really inconsistent results
Because
with
you have a lot, yeah, because you have a lot of.
sometimes I'm an extrovert, sometimes I'm an introvert, sometimes I'm.
Yeah, it's totally subjective, and so if you have if a person has like all 9 centers defined, then they're probably going to be very consistent with however they answer because their energy flows a consistent way. But anyway, that did even a little. It wasn't a ton because it wasn't that widely regarded, but there was some misuse of Myers-Briggs and just some other kinds of personality tests in some organizations where they were like, oh, this person's an INFJ, which is like the most introverted kind. And they're like, so yeah, that means that they're not going to show up and they're not going to be good at things. And it's like, oh my gosh. So it requires, again, I'm seeing like the shadow side of humanity, like not understanding it well enough. Not, I think we're moving there. And I hope that we, recognizing the value of it. We also don't want, the other kind of misunderstanding, because someone could be then a projector and go, I don't want any generators because projectors are the best. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That. I swear, some of the people that I follow, it's like they sometimes type worship.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm like, but anyway.
Yeah, you got to have a balance.
Absolutely. And everyone is light and shadow, but a balance is really beautiful, that we need each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's magnetics. It's
right.
The law of magnetics.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everyone. I guess anything else from you two?
I went to order the book, and there were so many different ones of the same book. I'm not sure which one to order.
Really? I literally just ordered. I just like went and ordered the one I found. I didn't even.
There was like 4 or 5 different ones.
Well, that's because they're such short books that they're usually sold as in compilations. So like you'll get At Your Command with Freedom for All and Feeling is the Secret. And so that's just
I just got the first classic work by the visionary mystic. Is that?
I don't know. Did you see it on Amazon?
On
just
Amazon.
So you looked up At Your Command, and then there's like a lot of different ones. Something. Are you looking on Amazon? What are you looking on, Courtney?
Yeah, on Amazon.
I see. Oh wait, that's Kindle. Oh yeah, I just did like the first one. Yeah, there are a lot of different ones.
I would say get the cheapest one that definitely has At Your Command in it. There is an At Your Command. Do you do Kindle, Courtney?
No.
Oh yeah, here's this one that's only like $6.
Mm-hmm.
At Your Command, original complete text. Maybe that one.
Check out a lending library, or what you can also do is
it does say book 1.
Yeah, see, is that the black cover one?
Yeah. It's like with this green photo on it.
Yeah, it had a very cool cover, so I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll get this one. And then I saw it was only book 1 of 2, and I'm like, wait, what?
Well, that just it's a very short book. So what they're probably doing is they're selling you that's like a compilation. So At Your Command is his first book. And then it's probably got like book 2 has got like Feeling is a Secret and other things like that in it. But you could,
looks like that's just an older edition, but it's cheaper.
Are you wanting to get a paperback or?
Yeah, paperback.
What about the library? The actual library.
I could check the library, but then I wouldn't be able to underline and highlight.
Oh, okay, yeah. So also there are lending libraries, but those would be, oh wait, let's see. Okay, I found a PDF that's just like here to download.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm gonna download it right now. And when I do things like that, I feel good because I've also purchased it. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna pop this in our WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
But if you Google At Your Command by Neville Goddard and just scroll down, and what is it like it's At Your Command, Neville Goddard PDF. And I do that a lot. And so it's actually, and it came up as like, actually it's the first thing below the ads, and it's from Law of Attraction Haven.
Hmm.
And when I click on that, this is a PDF just for you to download.
I just got the $6 one.
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's great.
I like having a book.
Yeah. Well, you can print this one though too. So because it is short. So you could go ahead and take it to the library and print it. Or you can, let's see. Yeah. Yep. So I'll pop that in the WhatsApp chat.
I could always start on that till the book comes also.
Totally.
So.
And you can, but yeah, you could also, if you have a printer at home, you can print it, or you can send it over to Kinko's, print it probably for $6, but probably less, but yeah.
But I'm going to go to the college tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. All right. So as soon as we get off, I'll pop it in the chat. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for saying hi. Nice to see you guys. And I look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yay.
Hey,
Thanks.
have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.